What's up, guys? Today we're going to be heading into practice mode, and I'm going to be telling you guys how you can beat every single coverage in Madden. Now, I first want to preface this by saying no, this isn't going to be a one-play touchdown. All these bombs. This is just to get you to understand how these zones work and how you can exploit them for relatively big gains and who to read, etc. So, let's get into it. Now, the good thing about this particular tutorial that I'm going to show is that it can really work with any play. Um, any formation, you can really make it work. These are just essentially concepts to look out for. Now, first, we're going to go to cover 3 and cover 4. Now, really, cover 3 and cover 4, they attack the same way. So, first, let's explain how you can attack the seam area of the field. So again, we'll pick any play. Just go to concepts, random cover 3. So when the defense is in cover 3, unless they base the line, you're going to see this. You're going to see one deep safety, and you're going to usually see the two cornerbacks out here. That lets you know that they're running cover 3. It could be cover 3 or man coverage, one or the other. So, the side that has the most receivers, as you can see, is going to be the right side here. What you want to look for is the guy that I'm highlighting. You want to only read this player that's across from the Duke, because this player is going to dictate where you want to go with this ball. Yeah, you still want to read the middle of the field if he catches on, makes adjustments, etc. But for like quick gains, you really want to read this player. Now, this player is the flat zone defender, so meaning he's going to guard this zig route and play underneath 5-10 yards depending on what flat zone he's in. So what we want to do is we want to put this guy on a streak, and we're going to read where this guy goes, and we're going to want to have a flat route right here. So we'll put this guy on an out. So literally all we're doing right here is we're going to read this guy. Does he go over to cover circle? Does he bump R1? If we get a bump on R1, we're going to hit Carmichael on the out route. If he doesn't, then if he rubs the Duke right here, or if he goes straight over to Carmichael, we're going to laser the seam into the Duke. So let's see what happens. Alright, well, we get a knockout right there, but you get the idea. So again, number 24 here, he goes to the flat. And as you can see, we don't get any sort of bump. So as he goes over to the flat, we have this nice little window right here to throw. And if I can get a better pass lead on that, it's going to be more consistent. So again, there's going to be times to where he bumps this guy. Okay, so yeah, that's perfect right there. So we hit that route here. Now let's see what he did on this play. So we get a bump here. So Vernon actually bumps this guy, takes him out. So now what that does, because this flat zone is out of the picture, because we're running essentially this pick route here, it leaves this whole window wide open. This guy's not going to come over and guard that. Now, in deeper routes, yes, Madden has added adaptive AI. So if you're running a post or something like that over and over again, he's going to catch on. But if you're just throwing this little quick out route, it's never going to catch on. I mean, this is just real football. I'm going to use that on quotes, real football. If this guy's assignment is a deep third, he has to wait a little bit to see if there's any other routes that's going to threaten his area before he just comes down and guards this guy. So, boom, right there, quick little route. Now I'm going to go to cover 4 and show you that it's essentially the same thing. let's go to. Now, as you can see with this, the flat zone defenders are more squished in. So yeah. So yeah, the flat zone, I'm just picking random cover 4 now. Um, but the big thing is identifying this guy. So 42 right here. Here, let me go to the replay here. I'm guessing, yeah, 42 is responsible for the flat, but I think that he's in a purple zone, so essentially what that means is that he's going to do that, but then if he sees someone going deep, he's going to guard that, or actually, yeah, I don't know. I think he might just be too far out to guard anyone, but like I said, you know, the player you want to spend the most time on is the player that's in the slot linebacker. It's going to be very rare that you're going to see like I think this is like a 3-4 or 4-3 formation right here. Not really going to see those a whole lot. It's especially out of shotgun. So usually you're going to get a slot cornerback that's going to line up somewhere around here or in this area here. So yeah. So that's the seams. That's some good quick game stuff right there. So the next way I'm going to show you guys how to beat this is called the flood concept. This is by far the most popular thing. Let's just go to cover 3. I can respot the ball here. So flood concept essentially means we're going to be flooding this side of the field. Now I'm on the left hash mark. When you're running the flood concept, you want to go to the wide side of the field. You want as much space to work as possible when you're using this concept. So as you can see, we have a deep corner route by the Duke. Now the flat zone defender is going to get out there. Honestly, your biggest threat when you're throwing these corner routes is actually not actually the person that's supposed to be guarding these corner routes, which is the flat zone, but it's going to be the deep blues. The deep thirds are going to come down and play, and really they do a better job at guarding corner routes, especially this year. If they don't see a threat in their zone area after a certain amount of period, they're going to jump the corner route. So for example, let's just say we leave Carmichael on this little in route here, and we're going to see how Duke does on this corner route here. Okay, so go to the replay here. So again, now I know I said, you know, cover 3 could be just 1 deep safety. In this case, it's apparently 2, but they're still far enough apart to where you can kind of know that this isn't going to be, you know, cover 2 or just cover 2 man or nothing like that. So yeah, so we got him on this corner route right here, and the flat zone does a decent job covering it. But this guy right here, this guy has this whole part of the field as his responsibility here. He's supposed to be bailing out, but because there's no routes right here for him to look out for, he has nothing to do, so he's going to get better leverage, and he's going to play this corner route pretty good. So how we're going to fix this is a good old zone manipulation tactic. I'm going to embrace my inner Andy Reid here. So all we're going to do is we're going to send circle on a streak. And this is the flood concept. This is a deep corner route and a streak. Sometimes people flat this guy. So you have this guy run a little baby flat. You know, for a nice little quick gang or whatever, but really it's just the deep corner route. So now that we've added that deep circle route, let's see what that does to this play. And as you can see, we have a lot more room to work with just because we added that streak. Okay, cool, we get one deep safety here. So again, this is a different play, but it's the same coverage. I mean, you saw me pick cover 3, so there's that. But yeah. So again, this guy has this deep part of the field here. So before, as you can see, when he was only supposed to run up here, that's not okay. He was only supposed to right here and then cut in like this, meaning he doesn't have anywhere to play, so he's going to guard this corner route essentially. Well, now we hit play right here. He can't. He has to go deep. There is no way for him to come off of this, because if you were to come off of this route right here, it's going to be a touchdown. Like, you just have to pass lead and it'd be it. So in doing that, all you have to do is throw over the flat zone, which kind of gets sucked down by this flat route that I put down here. And it's easy money. I mean, look at all that space right there. Easy 10 to 15, 20-yard gain even on that play. Now, obviously, you got the zone drops. I'm going to be honest, zone drops, you hear a lot of people say double Mabel, which means they're going to have their flats at 25, so they're going to play a certain depth. But I'll be honest, zone drops are kind of ass. Like, zone drops, like, they'll get to wherever depth they're trying to get, and they just kind of sit there with their dick in their hands. That's why deep blues, like, even though, okay, so I just ran the same play again. So even though he's getting bumped back a little bit, if you have a good click on, you can click on this guy and bring him down, and he's always backing up. Like, me personally, that's just how I would want to play defense, but that's besides the point. Alright, so we went over seams. We went over the flood concept. Now here's a good little quick game tip to run here. And again, we're going to go up against cover 3. So here's a good way to identify a good quick pass. So as you can see, we're going to run a streak in and out route. However, in this formation, the streak and the out route are a little bit close together, and that's by design. So again, on this part of the field, we're looking at the star right in front of us. We're going to see, do we get a bump here? Is he going to bump 14? If he does, we're going to throw quickly to Waddle. If we don't get a bump, we're going to throw very quickly to Metcalf on the seam pattern. We actually didn't get a bump there, but yeah, I'm going to do that again. Boom, right there. So it's going to take time to get the timing down. Obviously, it's going to look a little scary when you see these yellow zones play pretty far back. So yeah. So as you can see, this works for a lot of formation. I mean, we can go to trips. So same concept, we got a out route, triangle. We're just reading the guy who's in the slot to see what he does. We get a bump over there. He knocks it down, but as you can see, it's open. Practice mode be kind of shit sometimes. So here's the dagger concept. This concept is probably only found in trips formation, so Trey Y flex, trips tight end, and all that stuff. So you got a streak from the slot, you got an over with Carmichael here, and you got the deep dig route right here. So again, only reading number 24. If he bumps the streak route right here, we're all in on the in route. If he goes over to Metcalf, or if he bumps, yeah, if he goes over to Metcalf, we're going to throw up to triangle here. So, okay, we get a bump. You just got to wait for that to clear out a little bit, but these are tight windows. So as I'm demonstrating, you know, throwing seam routes over the middle, things like that, it's going to be very hard. And, you know, when you see it, these other players come in saying, oh, they only run this concept. Well, you know, you don't want to tap the user. The user is going to be scary to go against. But, you know, it's fun when you just read one side of the field, see what he does, and just let it go. That's going to help get your timing down. And you want to have an idea of what you're going to do on what the coverage is and execute. You know, if I were to just hike the ball and just say, okay, circle's my first read, triangle, it's going to be really hard. So that's why I think it's best to do everything possible, try to manipulate the zones as much as possible so that you're only looking at one receiver. So in other words, these receivers and the routes that I put out on the field are offensive linemen. They're essentially running people away from where I want to throw. So that's good. All right, so I think we covered cover 3 and cover 2. Now let's talk about the good old man-to-man coverage. So I'm going to go over bench. Man blitz, there we go. So we're at bench right here. Bench is a pretty common play. You can find it pretty much everywhere. Essentially, we got 2 corner routes and 2 short out routes right here. Now you want your fastest receiver to run the deeper corner route, and as soon as he gets that much separation, just click it. And it's really that easy, guys. Man coverage used to be kind of OP, and it is, don't get me wrong. Especially if you're running cover 2 man, I don't think it's going to show it because I picked man blitz, but in cover 2 man, you have safety help over the top, which is going to be a lot tougher to get that ball in. But, you know, if you know your opponent's running man coverage, just come out and bench, quick hike his ass, boom, we get all the separation from our best receiver, and that's a touchdown. So another play is crossers. Now what I mean by crossers is something like the shot fade cross. So as you can see, we have 2 deep crossers. Now in zone coverage, I don't like this play. The reason being is because if the user is going to take one of these routes, he's either going to take Metcalf on the short or circle. Well, in zone coverage, if he picks one side, the other side is pretty much dead because they have deep zones that are going to essentially come down and play those crossing routes. So the 2 deep crossers like I have now, you don't want to play against zone coverage. You just want them against man. So, you know, basically all you're reading in this play is see which route does he pick. Does he pick triangle? Does he pick circle? Whichever one the user isn't at, you throw it. And it's going to be open 90% of the time. Even the best man coverage defenders, they're going to have separation on certain comeback routes unless they're just really terrible. Like mesh routes, in routes, routes that go over the middle against man coverage, you're going to have some pretty good success. It's just a matter of getting the ball off and dictating where the user goes and throwing the other way. So that's man coverage. Another trick that I want you guys to, if you see that your opponent is running a lot of man to man. Something you want to do, but do it very sparingly, is get the running back involved. I'm in practice mode right now, so the running back is going to get manned up, so it's not going to be a good demonstration. When you're playing online against somebody, when they're running man coverage, man blitz, they're going to have a user. Um, and their user is going to be responsible for guarding somebody man to man. And 99% of the time, it's going to be the running back is who their assignment is. But it's very hard for someone to be a user and just guard someone. A lot of people aren't going to be that disciplined to guard the running back. Now, yeah, obviously, if you keep spamming it over and over again, he's going to catch on and probably trump it. But just say, if you leave him in pass protection like this while you're running these other plays, and every now and then you say, hey, dickhead. Oh, shit. Hey, dickhead, you're running up on the running back. I'm just going to throw this. And yeah, that's what's going to happen. You're going to get a big yard, and it's going to go for a touchdown. Ooh, that was a nice juke. Okay. So, running backs, very imperative to use sparingly, or if you can identify what receiver he's going to be manned up to, and use that to your advantage. Okay, so I said dagger. This play, it kind of works against zone, but not really. But this play, it really does work against man. The in route over the top is going to give you the best chance at getting some separation here. So we just wait for him to come back in, and then just throw that bitch. So in routes, definitely a good way to beat man coverage consistently. And because this is man coverage, we really don't have to worry about how I was talking about earlier about, having this route here to take away this guy and dictating on where you want to throw the ball. Here it's just man to man. I mean, people have their guy to man and that's it. So really you just have to find the one route that they do get separation on and just go with that. Another play that I like to use is comeback routes. We wait. Freeform that bit. So yeah, comeback routes, corner routes, in routes. Usually going to be very successful against man coverage using your running back sparingly in the pass game. Alright, so we went through all that. Now let's talk about cover 2. Now there's a lot of different kinds of cover 2. Now this is the one play that I'm going to decide which kind of variance we're going to be looking at first. So let's start with the regular cover 2. So the weaknesses in cover 2 is going to be up the sideline. It's going to be because I motion the guy out. The corner responsibility is the flat. So how we can exploit this is we can run a streak route. As soon as our receiver passes the flat zone, we can pass lead that inside. That was a hell of a pass lead. So, how you can identify if it's cover 2 is you want to look at these guys, the cornerbacks. If the quarterbacks are going to back up, turn their hips, and go running straight back, he kind of does right there, but that's the only reason that he kind of turns his hips right here is because he got bumped off. Let's see if the other side. So yeah, this is a better demonstration. So this guy, again, both cornerbacks are responsible for guarding the same zone, just different sides of the field. So this guy's backing up. He's not going to backpedal because he has safety help over top. He's only responsible for guarding that. So if you're reading the cornerbacks right here and they're just sitting back, they're not bailing out, going to cover deep thirds, they're in cover 2. So that's how you can indicate what they're going to be cover 2. So you want to give yourself as much room as possible Now I understand that this route, this is a tight double, so this route isn't going to be just your average route. But so let's just do a streak and see what that does. Now we're putting Metcalf on the streak. The reason that we're putting Metcalf on the streak, that's going to take away the deep safety. The deep safety is going to kind of have to be kind of keyed in on Metcalf a little bit because yeah. So the idea here is that we can get the safety to kind of play Metcalf, and then once the cloud zone um, dips out, we can hit Carmichael over the top. Now, as you can see, we get the cloud flag got us bumped to hell, but that's kind of the idea. So yeah, you hear some people talk about unbumpable routes. Well, that's essentially what you want when you're playing against cover two. If we get a free release against the corner here, it's going to be a big gain. So let's do a fade and see if that. So yeah. So the big thing is just finding unbumpable routes. So this play is a good cover two beater. It is shot fade cross out of the gun tight doubles. A lot of playbooks have tight doubles. I'm running Pittsburgh's offense right now. So yeah, that's a laser beam. Even though it was incomplete, but still. So yeah, we still get a bump, but I think why I like this route too is even though we get a bump and that throws my guy off his route a little bit, it bumps him more outside, and that's where you want. We want this guy to be as much as outside here as possible to keep him away from this guy. That's going to become playing it. So we're waiting. We're waiting. He kind of sees him, but by that point it's way too late for him to do much. So, so yeah, when you're running cover two, you're really gonna want to kind of run some more. I know I ran gun type, but a good formation to run against cover two is spread anything that gets the receivers out in space, because that's what you want. You want the receivers as outside the quarterback as possible to keep him away from the safety, so that the only thing you got to worry about is waiting until your guy clears out the quarterback and you get a nice hole shot. That's actually what they call completing a pass in cover two in real football is a hole shot, not a hole shot like some of you nasty people are thinking. So yeah, hole shots. Now let's talk about the deep middle of the field. Now in cover two, the two safeties have deep pass responsibilities that they're responsible for. So the middle of the field is usually guarded by a mid read. Now you can still get deep streaks down the middle of the field, but how they made Madden now is that the guy who's responsible for that space between the safeties, he does a pretty good job, generally speaking, of taking care of that area. But let's see what happens. I got Metcalf going streaking down the middle of the field. So as you can see, it kind of worked there. I think it worked a lot better in previous games, but so we're splitting the safeties right here. That's pretty much all we're doing. These guys are going to back out because they have deep half responsibilities, so they're not going to be too keyed on. But this player, he's the one that's kind of got the deep middle of the field. I mean, he's a linebacker, so he's probably not even going to do much anyway, even if he was in a deep third or whatever. But, kind of going there. Oh, but I think I know what happened. So yeah, so he's playing deep, but because he has another route going into his area, number 17, the in route. So I think he kind of checks for that first, and that's why he doesn't really go fully back there. Let's see. Let's just put Waddle on a route to see what he does. I feel like that was actually worse in a way, but. So he doesn't. So this guy has no routes coming into his area, so he should be like fucking ass backwards here guarding the deep route here. Kind of bails out a little bit, but still kind of stutter steps. So yeah, that's my video on how you guys can beat every single coverage. Definitely look forward to getting you guys some more videos, not only tip videos, but CFM videos and gameplay videos and stuff like that. So appreciate you guys for stopping by. I've been noticing my tip videos have been getting a lot of love lately, view wise and all that. So I appreciate that, guys. Hope to keep it coming from you. So yeah, till next time, peace.